Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ask Us Anything.
It's Sunday night. We're Mike and Jen, and it's great to see there's a bunch of you already out there waiting in the room. And I was chatting with a couple of you out there, and as we were getting set up here tonight, we're in Michigan, and it is
humid
and hot. What is it right now? It's still, well, it's 88, but it was 90. I know all you people down south.
They're going to say that isn't
Southwest,
anything.
and that's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's your nighttime lows, but it's been really humid here, hasn't it?
Very humid.
Yeah. So welcome. We are delighted to be with you. We want to kick tonight off with a little bit of an announcement. And I'm really excited about it because I have been working on this all week, really. And that is a video version of our podcast. Our podcast has been around now for 348 episodes. We began almost, I think it was a little over, either 6 years ago we began. And it's been, an audio. You listen to it on your podcast app, or you can listen to it through our website. But we're going to now do, many of you have been saying, can you do a video version? We want to see and stuff. So we are going to do a video version. It'll be kind of us talking just like this, but we will have video in there. We'll have some video images from, various things that we can grab. So the people on YouTube who will watch it will see some of the video, and the podcast listeners, when they get a chance, can go home and call it up, or just call it up on your smartphone. But same podcast, same content. But one on YouTube, on our RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube, it'll be published the same time the audio podcast goes, which is 6 a.m. Eastern time every Wednesday. I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a little more work for us because we have to look at the camera instead of read. Like we can cheat a little bit when we do it in audio.
Right.
So we're pretty excited. Hey, let's ask Phyllis Carr to come on. Phyllis is helping wrangle all the questions that we'll be seeing tonight. And remember when I used to do this alone? It was like overwhelming. I would sit there and I'm trying to, they scroll by us really fast. And for those of you who are in the chat room, you see a chat room window there, unless you're watching us on your big screen or something. And it just scrolls down really fast. And it's so hard for us to talk and read. So thank you, Phyllis, for doing that. Give them a hint on how we can recognize when there's a question or a comment.
Yeah, they're already doing it really great over there, over on YouTube. If you have a question, type the word question in all caps. It's easier to see. If you have a comment, you can type comment in all caps and then make your comment. That's very, very helpful to us. If you're talking to each other, you can just talk to each other and we won't pick those up by mistake inside on the screen. And if you're on Facebook, it's probably better to go over to the page to watch, because that way we can see your name if you have a question. And that just makes it easier for us to say hi to you.
And we should point out that we're simulcasting this on our RV Lifestyle Facebook group. 53,000 members on that. Our RV Lifestyle Facebook supporters, which is kind of a select group of people who choose to support Jen and I, and we give them a little more content and hide our supporters. We love our supporters. On YouTube, it is, of course, our YouTube regulars, and we have some YouTube members as well. And then also our Facebook page, which Phyllis just spoke of. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Chris Cowley, who is over on YouTube, helping keep things running straight tonight as well. All right, Phyllis, we'll check in with you at the end of the night. Thanks for being there, and thanks for already in advance the questions that you will find. We always like to kind of go first up with a question or a comment, and this is the first guy who was there is Jory Cornelius.
Okay, installed my soft start on our LTV Unity twin bed. Performs as advertised, and customer service during the installation was Disney quality. Thanks for putting us onto this device.
This is the device that installs. We did a blog post, and there's a link on our rvlifestyle.com website about it. But Soft Start is a device that installs on your air conditioner, and it allows your air conditioner to start up and get that compressor running without that huge spike that comes on a normal air conditioner. That's why you have to have a generator or be on 30 amp minimum supplies to get the air conditioner running, because when the compressor goes, it gives this big spike up and then it levels off. Well, Soft Start, as it says, levels that off. And the beauty of that soft start is that you can then run your RV lifestyle oftentimes on just your batteries. You don't want to run it long because it drains them fast, but you can run on your batteries. And if you're mooch docking at a friend's house, and maybe you plug into 20 amp supply, at the house with your long little orange cord, your air conditioner will run on that. So, Jerry, glad you got it.
What does that cost?
It's a couple $300. It's pretty easy to install. I don't know if Jerry installed it or had someone else do it. Me, I'll have somebody else do it.
Well, that just sounds like such a good thing to have, so that if you're at a friend's house, mooch docking, that you could use their regular wattage.
We are turning into big time mooch dockers. And
We are.
And that's really nice, especially when it's like it is today here in Michigan.
So it's just the initial start that is the problem.
Right.
So you could use regular house power if it weren't for that initial start. So
Yep.
you could run it all night long.
On house power. Now, if it will still drain your batteries, but it will run on your batteries. So, like, for example, if we're stopped at a rest area,
Yeah.
and with soft start, I wouldn't have to turn on the generator to run it. Or if we're going to have lunch at a park on the way, I could just start it and it would run off my batteries for, 20, 30, 40 minutes while we ate lunch and keep us cool. So, Jerry, I'm glad you got that. And thanks for being the first one waiting for us tonight. All right, let's see what we got from questions coming up. Bradley Olson. Hi, Bradley.
Are rigid low-profile solar panels an upgrade you would consider from flex low-profile ones on an LTV?
Absolutely, I would. This is a new offering on the 2022 models from Leisure Travel Van. The one we have on our current Wonder, and the one the panels we have on our Wonder and the panels we had on our former Unity are the flex panels. Now, they've worked well. I have no complaints about them, but the rigid panels just perform better. So you'll get more effectiveness from the solar charging. And that's an upgrade that is being standardized. If you order solar panels from Leisure, they're now going to be the rigid panels rather than the flexible panels. The flexible panels kind of glue to the roof. They adhere to the roof. And the rigid panels are up a little bit, and it's just more, they're better. But we love our solar.
Yeah, we do. We don't have any problems with it.
All right. See what we got next for a question. Oh, we don't have a question. We have a super chat from Kathy Taylor. Thank you, Kathy. Super chats come on the YouTube RV Lifestyle channel. There's a little super chat, a little $sign. And that kind of, if you have a question, it puts you to the top of the line when we answer questions. But it's also a way just to show your appreciation and to thank us and give us a little support and gives us a little shot of adrenaline. So thank you very much, Kathy, for that. This is from David.
At Misty Acres Alpaca Farm in Sydney, Maine. A terrific harvest host stop on our way to Holton, Maine.
Holton, Maine. I've never been to Holton, Maine.
Yeah.
We've been to a Harvest House alpaca farm. Remember that?
Yeah. I'm surprised at how many there are across the country.
Where was that? That was in New Mexico, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That was fun.
Mm-hmm. Lots of fun.
We fed them.
Mm-hmm.
We fed the alpacas.
We've got pictures to prove it.
Yeah, we do. We do. In fact, I was just kind of working on, Harvest Host is one of our sponsors on the podcast, and I was working on for the video version, and I made their little video commercial that will air, and I used the picture of us feeding the alpacas. So, well, good for you. Glad you're out there.
Glad you're having fun. Glad you're enjoying it.
From James Harris.
Do you have tracking for Bo? We got one for our dog in case she gets loose, RVing. We got Tractive, GPS, pup, a tracker. Tracks every 3 seconds. There is also Phi and Whistle Explorer, GPS.
I see the ads on Facebook. Now, we don't have, and a lot of people are saying these are even better than a chip on the dog. I don't know about that because you got to run with you got to have some kind of a solar connection or cellular connection for them. But it's pretty minimal. But we haven't done it with Bo. He's never run away except Well, I guess I shouldn't say never. He's ran away a couple weeks ago in
Oh, well,
Tennessee.
he knew where he was. He did
He
not
knew where
leave
he
us.
was. Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah,
he
didn't
wasn't-
go far.
he
He was
wasn't-
just doing his own thing.
He wasn't in danger of getting lost. He was just.
I mean, like
not
our
being a leader.
daughter and son-in-law had a Siberian Husky who would get so excited at running that she would get lost. I mean, she would run a couple miles and then, whoops, how do I get back home? And I guess that's common with Huskies.
Yeah.
But elk hounds, they know where they are.
But
They're
there's a-
independent. They might not come back.
But they mount them. I don't know if yours is like the ones I saw on Facebook, James. They go right around the collar, and they're pretty attractive and good for you. What we have for Bo, the only thing we have for Bo is something called Waggle, and it is an app that works off of my smartphone, and it monitors by a cell network the temperature inside the RV. So it's a battery operated, but I leave it plugged in all the time when we're out camping, and I can see what the temperature is. And if we're out, we go out for dinner and leave them in the RV, or if we're, outside, we never leave too far from the RV, but we always can know what the temperature is.
Yeah, I was thinking that that if somebody were to steal your dog, but I suppose if they would steal your dog, they'd know to take off the collar,
Maybe
the
not.
tracking device.
Maybe not. I don't know.
But some people, dogs are worth so much money. A lot of these dogs are very expensive.
Better safe than sorry. Good
Yeah,
call.
I think that might be nice to have.
Yep. Thanks, James, for the question and letting us know what you have for your pooch.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is from Steve S.
I am wanting to get a Class B van. I was wondering how much trouble it is to tear down your campsite just to go to the store, restaurant, or sightseeing, and then come back and set up. Thank you. I loved our Class Bs. It wasn't that much work. It really wasn't. I mean, just a couple of things. I mean, unplug if you plugged in, and water if you hooked up with the water, because often we would even camp overnight and never plug in the electric.
Because we have solar,
Yeah.
and we have lithium batteries. So.
Or the water. And it wasn't that much trouble. Number one, when I get something out, I usually put it back. Everything is anchored. You don't leave things just sitting around. At least I don't, because we might forget and take off, and then things are flying all over the place.
And
It's not that much work.
we don't tend to go that many places after we settle in. We usually have enough food for us. If you saw our YouTube video this week on our favorite food stops, you think we eat out all the time. We don't. Those are just the highlights.
It's a collection.
It's a collection of them. But so we kind of try and plan it so we don't have to leave. But there are times that we want to sightsee, and we're staying in a place for a couple, 3 days. Now, a big thing for us is we have automatic levelers, and that's really nice. You push the button, and it's 4-point leveling. It's so comfortable. Some of the B vans, you can't get that, and
Right.
so you have to drive up on those little Lego boxes, giant
That's what
Lego
we call them.
boxes. Yeah, they look like a Lego box that's 12 by 12. And if you got dually wheels on the back, you gotta
You've got a little more work with leveling.
Yeah, you got to get that off. But that's the hardest part of
Camping.
moving, is if you had to get yourself level in a spot. But it's not that bad. It's you can even plugged in, you're on the road in less than a minute. You just unplug, throw the cord in your RV, and you're off to go.
I think the hardest thing about camping is, I usually say, do not leave your electric cord out there. Water,
Hose, leaving your
we
hose.
leave that, but
this isn't a campground, organized campground.
Well, and chairs, you never know what's going to get legs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's the hardest.
that's the hardest part.
And that's where folks who have a towable trailer, or they tow a towed, so they call a car or vehicle they tow, that's where they have a little bit of an advantage, because their rig stays on the site. We've never had a problem by trying to take our site in a campground. In a boondocking spot, I could see it happening, because it's first come, first served, and if you're not there, how do they know you were there and are just out for an hour or so?
Also, putting up your awning. We always take down our awning at night, because you never know when wind is going to pick up or a storm come through. But that's a little bit of a chore. Depends on your manufacturer how easy it is to take down that awning if you want to go.
You have
So there is some work involved. Even if you were hauling a car. You've got to unhook it, hook it back up. No matter what you do, there's a little bit of effort involved.
Yep. Thank you, Steve, for the question. And this is from Jeff Burke.
I hear Mount Evans in Colorado is open. Is that right?
I think it is.
It has the highest elevation road in the U.S., but they are restricting how many cars can drive up the hill. Seems like everything is being restricted or needing reservations. Doesn't that take the joy out of it?
It is such a pain. This weekend, Jeff, Rocky Mountain National Park, for example, which is one of those new parks where you have to have reservations to enter the park. Unless you come in before 9 or come in after 6, you have to have reservations. Well, the word hasn't gotten out. This weekend they had massive traffic jams. People were confused. There were families. I read one account on one of the forums. The family had come in. He drove 3 hours to take his kids to this national park. And they got there and they stood in this long, long line. And then they said, you don't have reservations, you got to leave. This is that new policy that many of the national parks have had, trying to ease congestion, where you have to have a reservation ahead of time. Most of them now make you also pay an admission fee on top of everything else. It's a mess. We're going to talk a little bit about this whole reservation mess on the podcast this weekend. We found a guy who is trying to get a campaign going to make it easier for people who are spur of the moment campers, as many of us are, and particularly full timers. I mean, we don't have the luxury of saying, well, in 6 months we can be at this campground. Anyway, it's going to be a very interesting discussion about this issue on the podcast. Both the audio and the video one will be out Wednesday morning. But in your case, I feel really sorry for you because it is, as Jennifer said, it's just another hassle.
COVID?
No,
is it? Well, are you just wanting to control? I mean, are we that?
We're talking about the government here. That's what they like to do. But no, I think a lot of it.
We really are that congested.
I think because of COVID and so many people not being able to go anywhere last year, that there's never been so much interest in visiting a national park as there is now. That is a trend, even pre-COVID, that was increasing as the RV boom and popularity was going. So I don't think we can say it's just government control.
Okay. So were there that many people from the States that cross into Canada?
No.
Okay.
I mean, there are a bunch of them. The Canada's hurting because they're, particularly all the areas around Banff, they would love to start getting some U.S. Tourists in, but the Canadian government's, who knows if they'll ever
when we
open
were
it.
in Banff, it was so crowded. It was really.
Well, happened to visited on Canada Day, their 4th of July.
Right.
So,
and
so
I think
that was
it
our
was
fault.
free park day.
Yeah. And it was a free admission and it was Canada Day. So that wasn't a reflection on there.
Yeah.
It was just bad choice on us to visit that time.
We didn't do our homework about that
But I know Canada, we're hoping that border will open by the end of the summer.
Yes,
who knows
sure
when.
hope so.
Yep. Thank you, Jeff. Great question and good luck getting in.
Yeah.
And this is from Lindy Rollins. Hi, Lindy.
Any upgrade on your going to the Hershey show, like which days you'll be there? And Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is going to be kind of a secret.
Well,
for a few months.
It's kind of a
secret.
Yeah,
the exact dates.
Sure. Let's do the Hershey show first. Absolutely. We'll be there.
Usually you like to be there for Tuesday.
Tuesday's normally an industry day where it's closed to the public, and we get a chance then to go and do all of our videos, and then we can hang out with people and sort of finish that up and interview with friends and our fans and stuff there. But we'll try and do 2 meet and greets. How's that? One probably Thursday, Friday, and then we'll try and do one on Saturday.
Yeah, we got to figure out what we're going to do with Bo. That's our big question.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That still doesn't,
because we never take him.
They don't let us bring Bo into Hershey. So,
but
we will be there. We'll figure it out and we'll let you know. Normally we do our meet and greets on Fridays. Saturday is just a madhouse, on Hershey, but we may stick around for it this time and just use it just to be social, because we'll try and get our work done.
And I shouldn't be a downer saying what we just heard the other day about leaving your pet.
Yeah.
I won't be a downer.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
Now, as to Mount Rushmore, This is one of our supporter only gatherings, and I don't like to promote the supporter only gatherings to the whole audience because they get mad at us when we say it. But the reality
I'm
is,
mad at you.
well, but the reality is, if we open it up to everybody, it's sold out in an hour. We keep our gatherings between 30 and 50 rigs. 30 is the ideal. Think about it. That's at least 2 people in a rig. So it's usually 60 people. Any more than that, it's impossible for us really to get to meet everybody. And it becomes impossible for you to do anything group wise outside of that. So that's one of the perks that our supporters get, and our Facebook supporters get, and our YouTube members get, is they get these gatherings. And we're going to do 2 of those. We've got one that's already sold out, and that's in October on the Mississippi, meetup on the Mississippi. And Mount Rushmore will be in July 2022. Now, that's for the sports. But let me just say, we're going to do other stuff. We're going to announce a number of different meetups, short meetups for everybody and anybody. And we just are trying to work. So one of them we'll do at the Hershey show, and we can't wait for that. We'll be doing another one at the big Tampa show in January. So, and we'll have a couple more as we travel, and when we'll kind of announce those on Facebook and YouTube, and just say, hey, we're going to be at this place and, whenever, and hopefully we'll meet people.
I got in big trouble because we were at Glacier.
You did.
And I said, let's let everybody come. We've got enough camping spots.
And we didn't.
And it was a learning experience.
It was.
We won't go into all the details.
Madhouse. There were so many people.
It was a learning experience.
Yeah. So
it was too big.
So for our standpoint, one of the reasons we do the gatherings is to have fun, but to meet you and hang out with you. And it's really hard to do that on groups of over 50, 60 people. For example, the Mississippi one, we're all going out to eat at one place, and there's very few places that can handle a reservation for 60 people. Bringing in a catered meal, which we'll be doing to everybody, it's really hard to do it. So hope you understand that. That's why the big gatherings like that, we try and keep, we have to somehow, by the way, and I'm open to any suggestions that y'all have. So let us know. We love, that's half the reason we love to go out there and see, is to meet people on the road.
Didn't somebody suggest that we all go to Phyllis's house and camp?
Yes, that's a good idea. So how about August? We all go to Iowa.
That's why Chris won't give us his address.
Yeah, Chris doesn't come on. He's in West Virginia. That'd be a good spot too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Lindy, yep, they're both on. So we'll see. We'll let you know more. And this is from Kathy Taylor.
Okay. Now, when you set tire pressure to the cold temperature, how far up heat-wise, and can it go before you should stop to cool off the tires? 35 psi while driving. This, I don't understand the tire stuff, so you can give an answer to that. Goes up to 40. Should I stop? Do you understand the tire stuff?
I'm not a tire expert, but but the little sticker on the door, which tells me what my tire pressure should be, that's all I go for. I don't say, oh, it's hot out there and I'm driving hard. I've never had a problem with the tire blowing out or failing. We've had a flat, which we talked about, I think last week. Yeah. Somebody asked Jennifer, but set your tires cold to whatever the little sticker on the door is, and don't worry about it. Where you really want to worry about heat buildup is on your brakes.
That's what I was just going to say.
When you're going down a mountain, and we drove our Class B van at the time that we had up Pikes Peak. We had it loaded with 4 people and
two humongous
dogs. And it was kind of fun coming down. I'm taking video coming down, and if you ever driven up Pikes Peak, it's not for the faint-hearted.
It was more fun going down when we were in that little itty bitty car.
Yeah, that's a different story.
That's a different story.
But our brakes they stop at about the 10,000. Pikes Peak's almost 15,000, and at the 10,000 foot level, they stop you and they take a reading of the temperature of your brakes. And in our case, we had to wait for half hour, 40 minutes. So, but don't worry about your tires. You can turn around and do all sorts of stuff with them, and you can have over data information. But I'm just telling you, after 10 years of traveling, we've never had a problem. We try and keep them set for what it says on the sticker. Hope that helps, Kathy. And this is from Lillian Hall.
Aha. Hello from Palatine Hills Winery. And my tongue's all tied up now.
In Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada,
Mhm.
Harvest Host.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. We love those wineries. We haven't been at that winery, but we've
No,
been
I bet it's pretty.
we did one on the Fingers Lake in the Finger Lakes area.
That was very pretty.
Oh my gosh. I bet you're having a great day. I think the weather's good up there right now too.
Yeah.
You're in the same system we are in, I believe.
In Niagara on the
Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada,
Harvest
Palatine Hills Winery. I don't know that winery, but this is a good night for I don't know, for maybe a Pinot Grigio. Very cold. Put it in the freezer for a little bit. Make sure it's really cold. Thanks for checking in. This is from Don.
I was wondering where do you get your new tires installed? Do the tire places, Costco, places like that, have problems with the height of your RV when doing an install? Do you have snow tires for your RV?
No, you don't need snow tires for your RV ever. I mean, we travel in Michigan and we camp in the winter and there's deep snow. Never have needed snow tires.
I always say we're not out in the Rockies.
Out in the Rockies, you have to have chains and to go uphill some of the hills, but that's not an issue for us, and we never needed snow tires. When I get them installed, I take them to one of the big discount tire chains in southeastern Michigan, and they can't put me on the lift because we're 10 feet high, we weigh 11,000 pounds. But when I say I need 6 tires, they say, okay. So they just bring us portable jack, lift up the rear end and do the 4 tires there, and then they lift up the front. So they tend to do it right in their parking lot. And our tires are still pretty good, although I could be talked into upgrading to Michelin. We really like Michelin tires. I think on all of our Class Bs, they made a noticeable difference in the drive, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Now, what is life expectancy? Get the tires.
50,000 miles is where I would start to really, because we ride them very hard. 50,000 is pretty good, so we're a ways away from that. But it's all about the ride, and I don't know how they would be on the Ford Transit, Michelin, but I'm a big fan of Michelin tires. So,
okay.
Hope that helped. Good luck, but they can do it without being on the lift. This is from Robert Levon.
All right. Question about onboard batteries. Single 12 volt versus 2 6 volts. Which is better?
We just had a great conversation about this on the RV Lifestyle Facebook group. And I don't have the link for it. Besides that, those links are like 3,000 characters long. You'd never find it. But I read that with great interest. And the consensus was, and this goes with everything I've heard as well, is that 2 6-volt batteries are better than a 12-volt battery. You'd say, well, what's up with that? But there's a lot of other complicated reasons for draw and charging. But it basically, you can charge them up faster when they're 6-volt batteries. And when they're hooked up properly, they're great. So don't ask me for a detailed geek explanation because I don't speak tire geek, but I do. I read all the stuff I could find on it, and I think that 2 6 volts are preferred by 12, according to most of the people that were answering that question. Go to our Facebook group, RV Lifestyle Facebook group, and you can search 6-volt batteries, and you'll probably find it's a long train. And when you ask a technical question like that, there are those who say, well, I know that this is the case. And then somebody else says, no, you're wrong. But so disregard those kind of armchair engineer arguments and look at the consensus. And it is the 2 6 volts are better than a 12.
Shouldn't the manufacturers know? Shouldn't there be an official someplace?
Well, there is, if you want to dig into the technical details of it and the voltage and
Whoever
all that stuff and the amp draw and the charge and discharge rates, but that would put me to sleep. But you could read it if you'd like. I'll send you a copy. We can ask Jen next week. All right. Thank you, Robin. Hope that helped. Little Rascal.
Do you think LTV will ever build the Unity on the Ford Transit chassis?
No. I mean, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I think that would be counterproductive. They've got it all. I think there's enough differences in the chassis that the Unity's got that big slide. It needs a little more. It needs I think a little more beef on the frame because of the way it's laid out. It's a little bigger inside. So no, the Ford Transit is the Wonder model they have, and the Mercedes Sprinter is what they build the Unity on, and their whole engineering, all their lines are set up like that. This is not a huge manufacturing company. What do they make?
900 a year.
900 a year. So this would be just a huge change for them. And
I wonder if they'll come out with another model of the
plan?
Wonder, a different floor plan.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe, but they're doing real well with the Wonder,
Yeah.
and they're doing real well with the Unity, and why mess with a good thing? So I think they'll just continue to upgrade little things like on the, going to fixed hard solar panels rather than the flex panels. They just added, a beefed up inverter, and they added the option for lithium. And I think that you'll see them improving things like that rather than changing the floor plans on the two different chassis.
I almost think that's better to correct anything that you think you could do better than
Improve.
trying
Always
to
improve.
redo everything and then maybe have new issues.
Yeah, I agree. All right, this is from Michael Stanley. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Your thoughts on Harvest Host acquisition of Boondockers? Welcome.
Well, if there ever was a match made in heaven, I would think that would be it, because most Harvest Host places, there's 2,400 of them now, wineries, farms, tourist attractions, breweries. They're all pretty much self-contained RVs you have to have, and that's most of them. Some of them have power, but most of them are no hookups. And Boondockers welcome, of course. Some of them have hookups, some people's driveways and stuff, but most of those are boondocking as well. So it's a perfect match for Harvest Host. Harvest Host, I think they're going to run the two operations. As I read the news release on it, they're going to run the two of them separate. I don't know about a price increase for Boondockers welcome, but if they follow the procedure that Harvest Host has, if you buy at one price, they don't up you. You're protected at that price from future raises as they go along. And I would bet they would do the same for those of you who are Boondockers welcome members, or in the case of us, we're members of both. So, but Boondockers welcome is a great organization. Mary Ann Edwards and her family up there have been running that for years, and they're actually avid RVers, as is Joel Holland from Harvest Host. And I think it's a great mix of the two of them. It just fits perfectly with it. Hope to see you on the road, Mike Stanley. Hey, here's a $5 super chat from Kevin Schapp. Thank you, Kevin. And, when you do a little super chat, you get put to the front of the mind so you can ask a question and you get ahead of everybody else there. So thank you much. This is from Mimi Johnson.
All right. When my family went on our first camping trip to Colorado, I was 11. We had our brakes that were newly replaced burn up coming down Pikes Peak. It was the first time my dad pulled an RV. Oh, gee. Next day, new brakes.
It's pretty scary, isn't it, going down?
Maybe it's because of your dad. They've got the mandatory stop now where they check everybody's brakes.
Oh, and it's like your dad. It was like 30,000, 3,000 degrees temperature, something like that. Just ridiculous. And it took forever to cool off.
Mm-hmm.
Not 30,000, but 3,000, I think. You don't want to be without brakes. And what most first-time RVers do is going down a hill, you ride the brakes instead of using, downshifting on the engine to help the engine slow you down. And there's kind of a little knack to that, but that's how you do it. Now, Pikes Peak, you're talking like that, some of those grades. So you have to ride the brake. And that's why they get so hot. But quite an adventure. No brakes. Now what do we do? Yeah.
I can't imagine how scary that was.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, maybe. This is from Johnny Lightning. Johnny, sounds like Johnny Lightning and the Rockets. Sounds like an old 50s rock band.
It's been a while since I caught one of your live shows. Lots going on. I bought a Nexus Ghost 36 DS about a month ago. Haven't been out yet, but getting ready.
You know, isn't that perhaps the most enjoyable time with the new RV is getting ready, getting out there, thinking about where you're going to go, where you're going to put stuff and where things are and putting, I mean, I'm thrilled for you.
Turn on your heat before you need it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Listen, that is really good. If that's new, I don't know if you got an old one or not, but if you got a new one, anytime anybody buys an RV, a new RV, turn on the heater. Nobody writes this or tells you this, but trust us from somebody who's gone through it a couple of times. When the heater first comes on, it stinks
Toxic.
to high heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's toxic.
Yes.
I don't know if it is really.
I don't know, but it's nasty.
Oh, this, you know, because it has to burn off this coating and
Paint
Oh.
and I don't know what.
happened to us the first time we were out in the desert out by Quartzsite.
And we were freezing and we turned on the heat and then the smoke detector's going off.
Smoke, it just,
We had to open up the windows. I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but why
well,
do
we
that?
ran it. You had to run it a number of hours, and then it kind of burned off all that stuff. But
Yeah, so why go through that?
and the second time was on our new Wonder. We needed it, and we
You mean
tried.
we didn't learn.
Well,
from the
we
first
didn't
time?
have any choice. It got unexpectedly cold. So now the first thing I do when I get a new RV is I'm going to take it aside. I'm going to turn on the heat and let that run for a few hours.
Right.
So congratulations, Johnny, for
Yes.
your new RV. 36
fun.
feet. That's a good size.
Hmm.
I think it's 36. Yeah, I think that's it. Rosemary Green.
We have the Wonder rear lounge on order. Was wondering if there is a heat register in the Wonder. No, there isn't in the Wonder bathroom. Our Class B bath would get very cold on cold evenings.
Are you sure? I thought there was
And
one.
our Wonder,
I thought there was one.
there isn't heat in the bathroom,
Is it just that the front ones?
just
Oh.
the front ones.
Really?
I believe we only had one Class B that the CEO was very thrilled that we had heat in the bathroom. He
Yeah.
blasted you. I mean,
I don't think. I thought our Wonder did because it felt warm in there a couple of times this winter when we camped. But
we don't have heat
but
in ours in the
heat
bathroom.
the heat vent is in
Right
the
on
galley,
Bo.
is in the galley, and yeah, Bo sleeps right in front of it, and that's why we've had all
Bo
winter
issues.
long and early spring when we needed to have heat on at night or in the morning. Bo could not sleep there with the heat blowing on him with his double coat, so he would decide he's going to sleep in our twin beds, and it was not a pretty
I really
sight.
don't know how many RV manufacturers put a heat duct in the bathroom.
Larger, very, very
Right.
expensive ones
Right.
do.
And also that option of heated floors. We did have
Yes,
an RV with the heated floor,
that was very nice,
well, except for the dog.
except for the dog. He
Right.
did not like
Yeah, he
that.
did not like
But
that.
it was very nice to get up in the middle of the night barefoot. And,
I think
yeah,
it's kind of refreshing to have a little bit of cold air.
you do, huh?
But yeah.
I like warm feet. That's good. Thanks,
I
Rosemary.
usually wear my
Good luck.
socks if it's cold.
Yeah, that's the way to sleep. She can't sleep with cold feet, but
No, I can't. If
Yeah.
my feet are cold, I can't sleep.
all right, Rosemary, good luck in that. Let us know, but it does not have
And you
a vent in it.
leave the bathroom door, put some in it, leave it ajar so it doesn't get too cold. So the heat will go in there.
Good tip. Good tip. Matthew Altman.
What is this? Best internet. Best internet, please. They are all slow.
Yes, they do. They all slow down. What can I say? We have had the best luck with Verizon, have for all 10 years that we've been doing this. Most of the time I'm traveling with just a jetpack. That's all I need. I do have the WineGuard Connect 2 with the Verizon chip in it. And I do have the MiFi. In fact, I have two Verizon MiFis. And why would I have two of them? Because on each of them, I can get 15 gigs of bandwidth. And I need, and then same with the one up on the roof, I need as much bandwidth as I can get. Doing a program like this one, we're out on the road, an hour long of this, it just takes all my bandwidth. So I have something like 90 gigs, a little bit more. I think they give you a special when you buy two of them, but I have about 90 gigs of bandwidth that I can use. That's why I have two MiFis and then the Connect 2. So that's the best for us. We have found Verizon really well. I am about ready to try, I think I'm going to try Nomad Internet again, and that's on a different provider. I don't know whether it's AT&T or T-Mobile, but I'm going to try that because I always think it's great to have a backup carrier. If you're getting no signal, you don't have a cell tower in your area, chances are unless you're really remote, chances are another carrier does have a cell phone signal. So that's why I want to have two carriers. And we tried Nomad before and we're very pleased with it. It was on AT&T, and we may go back to that. We're trying to figure it out right now what we're going to do. But Verizon has been our choice network and they're not a sponsor. They used to be early on. When we first started, they were sponsored. But they're much too big for us. But we do like their I think they have the best network around. So good luck to you, Matthew, and I'm sure you'll figure this one out.
And they all do slow down. They
all do, and you run out of that little throttle number they give you. Usually it's 15 gigs, and you have unlimited access, but they don't tell you that after you're subject to network management when you go over 15 gigs, which is not that much anymore. And network management means that you don't get priority bandwidth from the cell phone tower. If there's nobody on it, you get great. But if there's somebody on, and there usually is, they drop you down to less than the old. If you remember, I don't think many people remember dial-in internet. Used to be, but worse than that. So good luck. It's a common problem. Shirley Benoit with a 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. And she says,
and howdy back to you, Shirley. We've got greetings for us, everybody, and Bo from Beverly Hills, Florida.
Shirley is offered to babysit Bo, to watch Bo.
Careful what you ask for.
Yeah. Maybe at the Tampa show, Shirley, when we're down there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too hot for Bo. And
it's hard. The hardest thing for us is taking Bo to an RV show because number one, we go to the shows. As much as we love to meet everybody, the first reason we go there is to work and to shoot the RVs and the video and interviews. And it's impossible when we have the dog. And it's impossible. It's like a clown act, we start to do an interview and boom, he pulls us aside.
If he sees another
knocks
dog,
over the
you never
tripod.
know when he's going to get excited and then need to say more. He likes to mark things.
He does.
And we don't want him doing that.
And I suppose I shouldn't say that.
No.
Well, now they all wonder.
Shirley won't.
They all wonder what I'm going to say. Okay, we want.
Well, okay. Yeah. And somebody at the dog park today said Bo forgot to leave his winter coat home.
Yeah, they did. One time at the dog park, Bo marked a person. So
somebody he'd known for years.
I don't know. He just was casual and forgot about it.
She was good though. She yelled, "What do you think I am, a tree?" Dogs.
Mike Snow with a question.
Can you suggest a Bluetooth battery monitor?
Well, it depends on what your battery system is set up with. Electronics, I think, has one. I forget who's the one I have now. I can pull it up on my smartphone. But yeah, I really like having that. That is an amazing thing. Let's see. Do I even have it on this? Xantex is my current one, and it is. It doesn't got to show anything because I'm not there, but it basically will show me. It says I can't find it. It will show me everything I've got going in, and I really like Lectron. I think it is. I like their solar controller, and it shows you how much batteries, how much juice is coming in through that. Most of the big inverters and solar controllers out there, if you can get them from the same company, most of them have an app and it will work with Bluetooth, so you can pop it up and look anytime you want. It's really nice to have. So in my case, the one here is Xantex. Is that, I'm not pronouncing that right. I think it is, where is it? Now I just lost it.
Oh dear.
I hate it when I have to go look up something. It is Xantrex, pardon me, Xantrex. That's the one I use now because that's what our inverter and our solar controller is. All right, Ike, thank you for the question. And this is from Peter Vachin.
What upstream speed do you get on your 90 GB package on average?
It depends on where I am, how close I am to the cell tower, how many other people are using it. I need at least 5 megabits up to do what we're doing right now, which is 720 resolution. This is getting too geeky for most of you, I know. I have had with that the jetpack, I've had as much as 20 gigabytes. Doesn't last because somebody else comes in and grabs some of the bandwidth from the tower. But 5 is what I need to stream. And usually, you know, I'd say on the average, it ranges from a low of 3 if you're in kind of a rough area. 5 to 10 is pretty standard in most places that I have found. So it all, you know, like everybody says, don't you hate those answers when somebody says it depends? But the older and longer I get doing these things, the more I realize there is no blanket answer because it does depend. And those are the factors I just talked about that it depends on. So Tony Manyard.
When is the Tampa show?
January, usually the 3rd week in January. I don't know the dates offhand, but I'll be there. We'll be there, right? Yeah, it's usually the 3rd week in January.
We've got time to figure it out.
Yep, 3rd week in January usually. So,
Mhm.
And that's a great one. That's so much fun because usually we'd come from a winter camp out in Tequamanon Falls where the snow might be 2 feet deep, and then we would fly to Tampa and it's 75 degrees, and the next day, you know. So from the snow to Tampa, I always like that. But I don't know if we're going to fly. We usually have to fly because we're somewhere else in the RV and we don't have time to drive down there. But this time we'll try it a little different. Maybe we'll get the RV and you know.
Then we got the bow factor.
We got the bow factor. Maybe we can get Shirley to come over and watch them.
Maybe.
She can hang out at the RV all day and watch them. This is from Jenny M.
All right. Greetings from a campground near Lake Placid. Started listening somewhere around episode 90. Thank you for all the great information. Well, thank you, Jenny, for listening.
Jenny, you are right where we were when we decided we had to do one of our 7-day adventure guides on the Adirondacks. Lake Placid in the Adirondacks is phenomenal. I wonder where you are. You know where we stayed? That was one of the nicest KOAs. Was that? I think it was the Lake Placid. And what's the name of that mountain? Stoneface Mountain or some right there. I don't remember. Whiteface Mountain. Is that it? I can't remember. But it's right there where you are. And we just loved that KOA. We ended up staying like 4 or 5 days and used it as a base for explorations and hikes. They had a great hiking path there that right along the Asable River there. So just have a great time. And thank you for checking in from Lake Placid in the Adirondacks. What a great time to be there. Hope the flies aren't too bad.
Yeah, hope the bugs aren't bad.
Yeah, we had some bug issues there, didn't we? We did.
We did.
Want to remind you, I announced this at the beginning of the evening, and I want to repeat it here, that we've been doing our podcast for 6 years now. 6 years. We are on episode 348. We'll be out this Wednesday at 6 a.m. And with it comes a new service we're going to do. We're going to do a video version of the podcast. We're not doing 2 versions. It's 1 version. But one of them will be, as always, with us just doing an audio version, and the other will be video. So you'll see the 2 of us as we talk and interact, and then we'll have video segments as well. And the regular podcast folks will hear the audio of that, and you'll be able to watch the video version of the podcast at our RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube. So
now I got to behave.
You got to behave.
I know. It's hard.
I suppose I can't tell them what you do sometimes.
No, you can't say.
Well, come on.
No.
Okay. We tell too many secrets, don't we? We don't tell them. So on the video podcast, you have to be alert. Let's just put it away the whole time.
Usually, if it's at the end of the day, I can fall asleep. I just
that's how much
I do what I have to do, and then I decide to lay on the floor and listen, and then I'm
with their headphones on. with these
sorry.
With these great big honking headphones on.
Yeah, I've been known to do that.
Yeah, but now you'll be
Depends
on
on what
camera.
time of the day it is.
But it'll look much like this for the talking parts, and then you'll see it. But so we're really excited about that. And we miss some of the questions. We know we do every Sunday night like this. And when we do, we want to invite you to call that number on the screen right here. And just call that number and leave us a question. Just record it, leave your question, and we'll answer it in the podcast. And I'm really excited about this particular podcast that's coming out Wednesday. It's our first one that we're doing as a video version, and kind of streamlining some stuff, adding some others, and I hope you'll all listen. But please, for those of you on YouTube and those of you who aren't on YouTube, go over to the RV Lifestyle channel and subscribe to our channel. First of all, we just can't tell you how exciting it is when we see subscribers. You mentioned in the video we just released yesterday on YouTube about our favorite road food, you said that we had a clock. And I've had several people say, what are you talking about, a clock? And we have a little clock that shows us when people subscribe to the channel. So some people have a clock that tells you the time. Ours shows us how many subscribers we have on YouTube. So we get, it's like a little adrenaline rush. It gets us excited. So you too.
Me too.
Always check it. So help that clock go up. And if you haven't done so, subscribe over at the RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube and listen to the first version of the video podcast and watch it as well at rvlifestyle.com at the youtube.com/RV Lifestyle. That's the YouTube channel. There we go. And you see our shirts here. Jennifer's Boondocker shirt, my outdoor shirt. These are part of our 2021 merch designs, and we love to see the pictures of you wearing them. And you can go shopping at that address right there, rvlifestyle.com/go shopping. Take a look at them all. We've got mugs and all sorts of cool stuff to wear out as you go out and explore. And we love to see people wearing these things because we say, hey, that's our shirts, and love these designs that we had this year. There's also Jen's Happy Trails, and we have Small House, Big Yard, and go check them out at that address. All right, I think we are about ready to wrap this all up, and it's been one of those nights. Let's bring Phyllis back on and see how we've done. Have we handled most of the questions today?
Yeah, there's a couple that a couple people missed the beginning, and they're asking if you're going to Hershey's and things like that. And so, yep, they are. you can go back and watch to the beginning, but there's so many people all over the place, and sometimes we don't have a chance to put on the comments where everybody's located, right? But they're just all over. It's just really amazing.
It has been really fun. All right, Phyllis. Hey, when are we going to get another sweepstakes up?
Soon.
Okay.
We're also supporting, the To Go RV sweepstakes. They've got a big one going on, so we've been posting about that, and then we're collecting all our little goodies so that we can have another one just for our community. So that's very exciting. Soon.
It's very cool, and that's where we kind of give away something. And the best way to do that is to follow us on social media. And you can follow us at, Instagram, Facebook. Where else are we? Pinterest. We're on them all.
Twitter.
LinkedIn. So follow us on social media, and we'll have all that stuff there for you. Yeah. All right, Phyllis, thank you so much for keeping heard of everything there. And I think Chris Cowley has been over at YouTube tonight. We thank you, Chris, for being there. Stay tuned to rvlifestyle.com. Please check out our blog. We have new content every single day. Newsletter coming out tomorrow for all you subscribers. That's free. You can get the newsletter. Just go to rvlifestyle.com. You sign up tonight, you'll get it tomorrow in your mailbox about 6:15 or so. And don't forget the podcast. Wish us luck. There'll probably be some glitches. We're going to do the audio version and the video version, and wish us luck. That'll be out Wednesday. And I hope you all have a great week. It's going to be a bit hot in most of the country, I think. So stay cool, everybody. And we hope that you are out there having a lot of fun.
Happy trails.